the defendant or who his, is it his girlfriend?
His wife.
How
I mean, it's his common law wife, Your Honor. They have two children together, so
all right. So I should characterize it as common law wife?
Or just wife. It's fine. However you like, but yes, they're
No,
not. I mean, they're common law husband and wife
I'll call
live together.
her whatever you want me to call her. You want wife? Okay.
Sure.
Your Honor, I think if they're not legally married, we prefer that she not be referred to as his wife and that she is just referred to as his significant other or mother of his children.
Things continue to spiral for Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, with reports suggesting Rocky could face up to 24 years in prison for the 2021 shooting involving his former friend, A$AP Rocky. This case has been dragging on for over 3 years, and for a while it seemed like it might get swept under the rug. But now that it's gone to trial, things aren't looking good for Rocky. There's even speculation that Rihanna, who's been a constant support for him, might step in to save him. Some are suggesting she could settle out of court with Rocky to keep him out of jail, but the real question is, will that be enough to save him? And why did Rocky turn down the plea deal from prosecutors? It's no surprise that fans think Rihanna might pay to keep Rocky out of trouble, especially considering that if he's locked up, she would be left raising two young children, both under the age of 3. That's a lot for anyone to handle on their own. What's even more concerning is that both Rocky and Rihanna have openly discussed how little help they have with raising their kids. Rihanna shared in an interview, "We came home cold turkey, had no one, it was just us as parents. And our baby. I can't believe it, from one person, I became 2. You walk into the hospital as a couple and leave as a family of 3, it's nuts. Those first days are insane, you don't sleep at all. Not even if you wanted to. If Rocky goes to jail, Rihanna wouldn't just be caring for 2 toddlers, she'd also be running her multi-billion-dollar empire. It's easy to see why she would want him out of jail. But the big question is, would she be willing to pay millions to keep him out? The stakes are high, and here's why. The 2021 incident happened after Rocky had a falling out with his former friend, A$AP Rocky. What started as an argument between the two men, both members of the A$AP mob, escalated quickly, with Rocky allegedly pulling out a gun and firing multiple shots. While Rocky wasn't critically injured, he did suffer a graze wound and minor injuries. This incident was serious enough to land Rocky in legal hot water. To make matters more complicated, Rocky's legal team is now claiming the fight wasn't just a random altercation. According to them, bad blood had been building between the two for some time, and they allege that Rocky set Rocky up that night, luring him to a secluded spot under the pretense of talking things through. Instead of a calm conversation, the meeting turned into a violent confrontation. Rocky's lawyers argue that Rocky wasn't just planning to talk things out, he showed up armed. After arriving at the scene, a conversation took place, but without warning or provocation. A$AP Rocky allegedly pulled out a semi-automatic handgun and fired multiple shots at Mr. Rocky. If it's true that Rocky planned this beforehand, it could change everything. Prosecutors could argue that this wasn't just a fight that escalated, it was a deliberate act. And with video evidence backing up these claims, Rocky's case in court is looking increasingly challenging. The situation came to a head in April 2022 when Rocky was arrested at Lax, and the timing couldn't have been worse. After months of investigation into the 2021 incident, law enforcement decided to make their move just as Rocky and Rihanna were returning to the U.S. from a vacation in Barbados. The LAPD issued a statement about the arrest, confirming that detectives from the Robbery Homicide Division had arrested Rocky in connection with a shooting that took place in the Hollywood area in November 2021. According to the statement, on December 6, 2021, around 10:15 p.m., an argument broke out between 2 acquaintances on Salma Avenue and Argyle Avenue. The argument escalated, and the suspect, later identified as Rocky, allegedly fired a handgun at the victim, who sustained minor injuries and sought medical treatment afterward. Following the shooting, Rocky and 2 other men reportedly fled on foot. Detectives worked tirelessly to gather evidence and eventually identified Rocky as the suspect. The LAPD confirmed his arrest, identifying him as 33-year-old Rocky Myers, a Los Angeles resident and musician known as A$AP Rocky, after the highly publicized arrest at LAX. The case was handed over to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for further consideration. Despite the media frenzy, Rocky didn't stay in jail for long. He posted a $550,000 bail and was back home within hours. But that brief release was only the beginning of a much bigger legal battle. By August 2022, the case officially went to court and Rocky pleaded not guilty to the charges. Since then, the case has seen numerous twists, and with each new development, it's becoming more complicated for him. The prosecution released video footage of the incident, showing Rocky allegedly pulling a gun on Relly, even though Relly was running away and posed no immediate threat. With this video evidence, the case against Rocky seems to be gaining momentum. And unless something drastic happens, he could be facing significant jail time. Interestingly, there were initial reports suggesting that Relly was open to settling out of court. However, he reportedly demanded an outrageous sum which Rocky dismissed. Sources claimed that Relly was trying to tap into Rihanna's fortune, but she allegedly wasn't having it. According to Media Takeout, Rihanna made it clear she wasn't about to let herself be taken advantage of, even if it meant standing firm for her name and her family. Now that the case is officially going to trial, it looks like ASAP Rocky could be facing a decade behind bars. On the surface, it seems like Rocky and his legal team are staying calm and focused. His lawyer recently said, "We're ready to go. It's been a long time, and it's something that's been hanging over Rocky and his family for a while. We're anxious to get this underway and put it behind him." While Rihanna isn't directly involved in the case, her relationship with Rocky as the mother of his children places her in the spotlight. In fact, during a recent hearing, the judge even inquired about their relationship, asking whether they were married and how she should be referred to during the trial.
You said he pointed at you. Where on your body was it pointing?
Like towards my stomach, like towards like my headish a little. Like everything was happening so fast. So fast. You know what I mean?
And from what you're describing, was it moving?
Yeah, it was moving. He had it up.
Okay, so he didn't just hold it at your stomach. It was kind of...
No, he was looking for a spot to
Okay.
Like if Elijah wasn't there, I don't know what would happen.
And you said as he was pointing it at you, what did he say?
I'll kill you right now.
And was that in an angry tone?
Yeah, he was livid.
The fact that the court even discussed how to refer to Rihanna during the trial highlights just how important she is to this case. Speaking of the trial, Rocky shocked many when he rejected a plea deal from the prosecution, according to reports. Law County prosecutors offered him a deal where, if he pleaded guilty to one of 2 felony charges, he would serve just 180 days in jail with a 7-year suspended sentence and 3 years of probation. Given that he faces up to 24 years in prison if found guilty, 180 days or about 6 months seemed like a good deal, especially since he'd likely only serve around 3 months behind bars. Everyone expected him to accept the deal considering the stakes, but it seems like Rocky is choosing to take his chances in court, which is a huge gamble. To make matters worse for him, Relly testified that Rocky didn't just shoot to injure him, he allegedly intended to kill him. With Relly's testimony, things are looking grim for Rocky, and many are left wondering why he didn't just take the plea deal. The risk he's taking is enormous, and now fans are speculating that his confidence might be coming from something else, like rumors that Rihanna might have written a big check to keep him out of jail. While there's no proof of this, it's understandable given that she likely wouldn't want him facing 24 years behind bars while raising their kids alone. Fans are discussing it, with some saying ASAP Rocky should have taken that plea deal. It's looking bad for him now. One fan even drew comparisons to Tory Lanez's situation, saying, "If Rocky doesn't take the plea, he's going to prison just like Tory. He's living in a fantasy. Being with Rihanna doesn't make him above the law. Be smart, forget those endorsement deals, you're risking years of your life." Others are convinced he'll regret his decision, with some commenting, "It's looking like he's going to jail for a long time. This is a mess." What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments and check out the next video.